Hello. How's it all going? Deadline for the game week 28 is up and coming. We're about 45 minutes away, so make sure you get those last minute transfers down in the chat, not the description. How you doing, Mr. Owen around? I've got Mr. Owen joining me today. How are we feeling?
I'm doing very well, actually, yeah. Coming off the back of a very nice game week for
Good
me. And for
stuff,
you as
man.
well, actually.
First 100 is... That was the first ever 100 pointer, if I'm not wrong.
That's actually it's my first ever 100. I've
Let's
had
have it.
four 90 plus this
Yeah.
year, sorry, but first 100.
Nice one, man. Nice one. So, feeling good going into this game week. A few last minute decisions, or are we all looking fine and
Um,
dandy?
I think I'm pretty happy with the way my team lines up.
The team lineup. Yeah. Just gonna say a quick hello to people joining us already in the chat. Mike, how you doing? He's got Kane captain for this week. Saying, man, it looks like Kane's gonna be the one. Richard been here for a while. Fancy saying where I'm sorry about the quarter past time, but yeah, I meant to go live at quarter two, but put the wrong time in. But it is what it is. But we'll move on to your team straight away, Owen. So yeah, I guess just talk us through the thoughts, the thinking, any transfers, captaincy, and so on.
Yeah. So, obviously, I wildcarded last week. So I'm currently planning, well, I say currently planning, I'm planning on rolling my transfer through to next week to have two and then use one, roll one
Yeah.
next week. So no transfers.
Simple.
The armband is on Bruno Fernandes.
Hmm.
A lot of people talking about Kane, saying,
Yeah.
he loves to score against Arsenal. He's got great records. Blah blah blah. No thanks.
No thanks.
Happy to own him. I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm captaincy not for me. I don't think.
completely fair. I feel like either way, with Bruno or Kane, it could just end up being a situation this week where they just kind of cancel each other out anyway. That's kind of what I'm hoping anyway.
Yeah,
Um, I think for me, it's just been on Kane because I've had it on Kane for the start of the week. And he's been smashing it of late. I don't see him getting benched, and I still see him playing a full 90 against Arsenal.
yeah.
But yeah, that being said, it's literally just a toss up between Fernandez, and I guess if you own both, like both of us do, if one player beats the other player by like 5-6 points, you're not, it's nice to have picked the right captain, but you're not really losing out if you didn't own the player at all.
Yeah, as long as the one I choose still gets a return,
Mm,
I'm
exactly,
across the board. I'm happy.
you're fine with it. CJ, how you doing, fella? Good to see you. And yeah, so you've got Martinez finally in goal. Long time coming.
Yes.
Made that move last week, so you can be absolutely fine with everything he does. Like me, you've got Watkins up front. Hopefully, can do something against us, against Newcastle, who've got
Newcastle.
pretty shabby. You're not, because I can see your bench being utilised, but then obviously I don't think anyone on your bench would actually play. So is that something you're worried about at all?
Yeah, I've got a little bit of concern.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I think Rob Holding's not played the last two games.
mm.
But even still, they're playing at Spurs, so I wouldn't want to start him. But if
No,
either De Bruyne or Gundogan, hopefully not both,
get benched.
miss this week,
Mm.
then
You don't really have
I
a.
hope that he does get 2 points at least from the bench.
It's an interesting one because what are your planned transfers? I guess for next week.
Well, Struijk taking a knock is a bit
Mm.
frustrating. It's got a red mark over him. Hopefully that'll just change to a nothing next week. But
So
I
you're hoping he
think my
plays.
plan at the minute is just to use one of my two transfers next week to go Gundogan to Saka.
Gonna get into Saka. Yeah,
Um, and
that's what I'm looking to do.
and with doing that, I'll have 11 players starting
11
next week.
players starting, relying on Struick, obviously.
Well, I'm actually relying on Struijk and Holding then.
Oh, okay, relying on Struick and holding. So what was the up? Because I know you've got two free transfers. So Gundogan to Saka or
No, then
nothing.
I'll roll the other transfer.
Oh, fair. Gonna roll it.
So yeah. My plan, because obviously I've used my wild card. I'm
Hmm.
obviously quite happy with my team, therefore.
Yeah, of
So I'd
course.
like to be able to keep that wild card for safety or for any like double moves that I want to make in the future,
Hmm.
such as bringing Salah back in if I feel like. he's worth
Yeah,
doing.
I feel like that's why I was tempted to do maybe like a Gundogan to Mount this week. Because I think Mount does look good, but then it gives me a lot less flexibility going forward if, say, Salah
Yeah,
does become an option again. Whereas if I go Gundogan to Saka, Saka's still very, very budget in terms of like I don't mind benching Saka because he is so budget. Um, but yeah, I completely get what you mean. This guy says, I've got Bale, Son, and Kane. Deadly Rashford for Bale and Sanchez for Lloris. 102 points last week, 150 points. Ranked 835th in the world. By the way, great vids. I mean, yeah, all I can say is, I mean, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, basically. um,
wait
like,
a second. So we got 102 points last week. What's the
yeah.
154 points?
And last week, yeah. So as in 102 points this previous, like the game week just gone, so 27, and I
Yeah.
assume game week 26, the big double, 154 points, and is now
Ah,
835th in the world, which is like
fair play.
that's dreamland. But then I also think like
Yeah.
I would love to be 835th in the world. Don't get me wrong with what I'm about to say, but I also think I would just be shitting myself the whole time.
I would stress every day
Yeah.
of every week.
I'd be genuinely bricking it if I was that high up. But I mean, on the reverse coin, it would be unbelievable experience to be that high
Yeah.
up. One day, mate, we can dream.
Michael Cullett advises me that Struijk won't play much from now on. Yeah, I
Mm.
sadly agree. When I brought him in, um, I still had confidence that he'd continue to play. And
Yeah.
obviously, like I on my wildcard, I got 0 in the bank, so
Mm.
I didn't have any room to upgrade him to anyone else. Sadly,
Yeah, no, I mean, completely agree. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate. Would you not think maybe like Struijk out?
yeah, potentially. I'd like. I'd rather just play 10 and keep the transfer
Mm.
for like something which I could do in the future than play 11 like with another 4 mil defender and use that transfer because
Yeah,
most people will only be fielding somewhere between sort of like 7 and 10 players anyway.
100%,
So I
mate.
don't think I'll miss out on all that much by only playing 10, and I'd rather
Oh
just
yeah,
keep that transfer.
like 10 is that's the number I'm planning on getting out, and I feel like in comparison to a lot of other people, that is a very strong number to be putting out.
Yeah, I
Um,
think so too.
just in terms of like playing points as well, you're probably gonna gain like you know between I don't know four and six, maybe 4 to 8 over the majority of people if you play like 10 or 11. And
Yeah,
then there's obviously like any kind of return they get as well. There is a lot of conflict, is one thing I'll say as well, between I guess the players I'm bringing in. Um, but as long as like one side of that, as long as both, say it's like I've got Creswell and Saka, as long as say like
yeah,
Aubameyang doesn't score and Saka gets nothing, and then Creswell loses the clean sheet, as long as it's not like a both parties lose out situation, then
yeah.
I should be
See,
okay.
yeah, I think for of the players I've got right now, I don't think I've got any big clashes,
Hmm.
which is ideal, really. Like as
Yeah,
you
on that,
say,
yeah.
if you're only fielding 10 players and you're sort of hoping that 4 of them don't do too well against each other, then you might as well only be fielding
Yeah,
6 players.
I guess the thing with Creswell versus Saka as well, like I'd be very happy if Saka scored because more people own Creswell, but then Creswell can also just go and grab an assist like he's been doing. So like, there's a lot of upside to both, I guess. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
Phil comes in with Sterling or Vardy captain. That's an interesting one. It's not really one that many people have, but an interesting one. Vardy playing against Sheffield, Sterling playing against Fulham. I probably lean towards Sterling because he got that bench and just
Yeah,
seems to have this like once he after he gets benched, goes and grabs a few goals, and Leicester don't actually look that great at the minute. So I'd probably lean towards Sterling. What do you think, mate?
yeah. I think I'd probably agree.
Mm.
Um, yeah, he had the bench, and yeah, I think I don't know. Just I don't want to think of Leicester versus Sheffield.
Yeah, you on paper it should be like Leicester
It
win,
should be a 3-0 Leicester, but I
simple.
think
You
it
know what I
could
mean?
easily not be.
Yeah, I really hope it is, because the double Leicester defence, I'm very much realising that double defence generally just is not the way to go.
Yeah, you only want to double on a team,
You want
such as Man City, which has had
Yeah,
so many
exactly.
clean sheets.
City, or even maybe you could get away with Villa, like a Martinez
Yeah, I was going to say Villa.
target,
Yeah,
but that's about it. So the double up, yeah, wasn't a good move, but I'd also like to be paid off somewhat, just with like a clean sheet against Sheffield. This is kind of the main game where I'm thinking, right, if it should happen, this should be the game that it should happen. Let me bring my team up actually.
Oh, he says he means that he was 835th in the world last week. 102.835. I must have been like 600th in the world.
Wait, so surely with 102 points you're not telling us that you
I was in the top.
dropped him rank after scoring 102 points.
No, he wasn't 835th in the world overall. He was that like from last week. Like that was his last week rank.
Oh, that was the rank. I see. Right, understood. That's a hell of a game week rank. You must have been up there then,
I must have been top 600 or something.
Yeah. What did you get?
105?
105. So, to be fair, it was weird because we both did quite well last week, and the average is 60. But I feel like I
Way
saw
above
a
average.
lot of like, but it still is a high average, if you know what I mean. I feel like I still saw
Yeah.
a fair amount of like low scores.
And if you look at the overall top players, you see a lot of 60s, 70s in there.
Yeah, like the geezer
Whereas
who's first in
usually
the
when the
world,
average is 60, you see a lot of 80s, 90s.
100%, man. The geezer who's like first in the world is really like he had a 100 point lead and just it's gone.
He's thrown that away,
I feel
hasn't he?
like
Yeah.
maybe got a little bit cocky. I can't lie. With just
Yeah.
a few of the picks, like a Ben Me captain, like that's
That
just
captaincy was poor.
that's just someone kind of taking liberties. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I still gotta say all fair play to him because miles ahead of me.
He's first, and we're not.
Exactly. We're not. So, but yeah, like, as you say, should be a good week, and Leicester should hopefully do Sheffield in. We'll do the Bambling Buffoon sections probably after the deadline,
After the
if
deadline.
you fancy hanging around, Owen. And we may be intruded because I am getting a fish and chips tonight, a nice chippy. So
Ooh.
I may be intruded by my dad coming in and getting my order, but I'm a weird. I get chicken from a chippy. I know it's wrong. I do get fish as well,
That's
but I get both.
You're gonna be humongous. Chicken and fish and chips.
No, but
That's
it's not
two
like
meals.
a full cod. It's fish bites.
You're a weird man. What? No. Just get a big bit of cod.
That's it. I'll have a think about it. See what the beer does to me. Guys, is Bamford or Rafinha? For me, it's Rafinha starting over. I very much expected my team for both of them to play, but if I was to pick between the two, I just think Rafinha provides.
Why don't you bring
more.
your? Oh, you have already. Sorry.
Yeah. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I think Rafinha. Whenever I watch the games, Rafinha seems like he's the one who'll be most involved, just because he's just good there on the ball. But Bamford also is on penalties, and it might be that that's the way that they score against Chelsea, considering Chelsea haven't been very leaky.
Yeah.
So I think personally, I would probably play Bamford.
Bamford. I mean, he did score in the reverse fixture. It was Frank Lampard's Chelsea, so it's obviously a different kettle of fish. But yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. I'm starting Rafinha, but as I say, I expect both of them to play, so it's not really much of a decision for me to make. It's kind of just like I start Rafinha because I think he's the better player, but Bamford could easily go in return. I believe that's Green Arrow, but just change the name because of the admin thing. But he said, I'm having a shit time, 60k red arrow with 50 points. Yeah, man, that's not ideal. I mean, to be fair, I don't
Red
know
arrow
what
every week.
I don't know what rank you are, but 50 points almost seems to me like you must be on quite a high rank to have only got a 60k red arrow with 50 point score. Because I'm seeing
Yeah.
people get like 74 points, 73 points and staying at the same rank. So like, if the game week average this week means you're getting a red arrow, then if you're 10 points below, surely that means like you must have been quite high up. So yeah, I mean, like 50 points obviously ain't ideal. But how are you lining up for this week? New week, new decisions, new transfers. We move on. New captains, new choices as well, and hopefully some more buzzers. Sheffield United new boss is terrible. Yeah, did you see the Chris Wilder resigned? Yeah, retired. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you message in the chat.
Yeah. It's an interesting one that because I don't know. Obviously, there's
It's
stuff.
odd that he resigned rather than like get fired or something.
I don't think they ever because with the like it's almost too far gone for them to fire him, if you know what I mean. So like if they were gonna fire him, they would have fired him at a stage where they still had some kind of hope of staying up. Right now it's just like they are playing championship football. That's happening. But I don't know, for him to resign at this point, like you still feel as though something must have happened. I don't know, because like he himself sounded like he was resigned to playing championship football unless he feels that he can get a Premier League job. Like I saw on Palace like forums and discussion that people were discussing like, oh, would Wilder be like a good Palace manager? So maybe like he backs himself and feels like he could get a Premier League team rather than being with Sheffield. I don't know. But it's a weird situation for sure.
I just had a look, and I don't know what this man in the comments was saying, but my game week rank was 78,000.
Maybe he meant for the
So I'm not sure
154 pointer.
Don't understand what that 835 is unless he's actually 835th in the world, in which case his clarification confused me.
No, I think to be fair, he's put like there are two scores in there. There are 102 points and 154, and it could have been referenced to the 154 pointer. To be fair, but yeah, and then from 50k to 110k, and yeah, this is Green Arrow every week. Nice one, man.
Oh no.
50k to 110k. I mean, like double-edged swords where I say, oh, you're 110k, I'd love to be there, but obviously you've just had you've dropped like 100 times, like you've dropped more than double what your rank actually is. So yeah, it's never like, no matter what rank you are, it's never nice to receive like that big of a green arrow in terms of percentage wise for sure. So yeah, that's
red arrow, you mean?
Man. Red arrow. He's green. Get the geezer's green arrow every week. You just got to expect it.
That's why I changed the name.
You got to expect it at this point. Yeah, I want to see when the green arrow inevitably comes this week. That name's got to be changing back. Brought in Bale for Barnes and captain Bale. Okay, I like the Bale for Barnes move. That's I think we can probably both get behind it. But the Bale captaincy move. Now that's a different kettle of fish. What are we saying, Owen?
I don't know, because like I wouldn't. I only own Son and Kane, and I probably wouldn't captain Son at the minute, but I would captain Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And although in the past sort of like 4 weeks, Bale has seemed more goal hungry than Son, who has looked more creative. I still wouldn't captain Bale over Son. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just because I'm uncomfortable. Maybe I'm just wrong. could well be, and you
I'm
could well
just
be
wrong.
you could well be right for doing it because I saw people bring in Bale this week. I was thinking like, oh no, they're just chasing like what
Yeah,
are they doing?
yeah,
And then he banged again. So
yeah. That's the thing is, it was a weird one with Bale because like I've been saying in my videos, he kind of like he gives you that X factor when he plays. It's like it's not like Son. Son's just kind of like he's Mr. Consistent, but he isn't. He's Mr. Consistent because he plays 90 minutes every single game. But
yeah,
returns wise, I just never feel that comfortable to captain him. Whereas Bale, as we've seen, he's a very like I feel like he's much higher potential of giving you a haul, basically. And if you
he's
hit
a bit more of a Mahrez though, isn't he? Because he could easily just not
yeah,
play after
I
scoring
like
a
that.
hat-trick.
I like that comparison. I think he's like on the Mahrez upside in terms of I do think he gets more game time in that Spurs team now.
Yeah,
Because when he's available, it seems like he's better than Moira, he's better than Bergwijn, playing on that right side. But so when he is available,
oh,
he will
absolutely.
play. But yeah, the thing is, it's like I think we generally say it's like those players are enough of a differential to just own them rather than
Yeah, you
captain
don't
them
like
as well.
captain him as well. Yeah. I
But
mean, that said, I brought in De Bruyne last week, who was pretty low owned,
yeah,
and decided to captain him, and that's what fueled my 100 points.
yeah, obviously, yeah. As we say, on the flip side, if it does go well, it goes really, really well. So
Yeah.
there's the other way of looking
So
at
so captaining those players is what like sees your rank increase by a big amount, but also
massively.
captain
Yeah,
them when and they don't do anything. It sees your rank drop by a big amount because you've not done this thing which everyone else has done.
yeah. You'd probably say more often than not as well. I'd say you're more likely to see a rank drop than you are a
It
rank
depends on
gain.
how good your guessing is, really.
I guess that's all. That's all it comes down to. The FPL, who can guess the best. Hello, which duo should I choose? Rafinha Bamford or Bamford Lookman? For me, it's Rafinha Bamford. Not only do they combine together, yeah, they do play against probably the marginally better defense, but I think Rafinha is like a much better player than Lookman. So I'd go for Rafinha Bamford. What do you think, mate?
How I see Lookman's name all the time,
Mm,
and I occasionally pay it a little bit of attention, but I don't know how regularly he's been scoring points.
not that. I think he's just like a very cheap player who plays in game week 29. But like I paid no attention. You know when you're just fiddling about with your team and you're just like selecting
Yeah,
replacements, like not a single time has a Lookman been placed into my team. Like it's not, yeah. I mean he's got 3 points, 1 points, 3 points, 11, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, seven,
he's
1,
definitely scored a
4.
few.
Like he's got one. I'm trying to 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 6 returns this season. So for a player who plays in the blank game week, I guess is a cheap option. He's not bad, especially against Leeds, who are defensively poor. But week in week out, yeah, I think Rafinha is the much better option for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Odegaard in for Son or KDB. Can I just reply this one with no?
No.
um, did Odegaard? He scored in the Europa
He
League,
scored
so
in yeah.
I don't know if
He
this
scored a
is.
banger as well, to be fair.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is maybe a bit knee jerky for that,
Thing is,
but
in the games he's played, he's looked good in all of them. It's not that like he scored a goal and now I want him
yeah,
in my
yeah,
team
100%.
because obviously he's bringing him in for either Son or KDB players who are like known for scoring goals or creating goals or having contributions in some kind.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't no for either of those two, no.
Yeah, for the two you're suggesting, like I'd even say there are so many other options, like even like Saka for Arsenal, I'd be picking over Odegaard. Yeah, there are so many other options, and especially for the players you're thinking like for Son or KDB. Yeah, I think it's just got thoughts on Cancelo captain. I mean, to be fair, I think he's surely going to play against Fulham. You can't see him getting benched too games in a row. They do play in the Champions League midweek, so maybe somewhat of a doubt, but I do definitely see him playing. I see them getting a clean sheet, and Cancelo could get an attacking return. So, like, if you're really feeling it, then go for it. I always think that going for like the attacker, Fernandes and Kane, definitely safer and also just more likely to get you points and big point scores as well. But Cancelo could come big this week. What do you think, Cancelo?
I was joking with you earlier on today, saying, "Oh, why don't you captain a defender?" Yeah, I absolutely would not be captaining a defender, and I don't know whether that's because I think it's a bad idea or because I'm too scared to, and like hoping for
I've had some
a
poor
goal
experience.
feels nicer than hoping to not concede a goal.
Yeah, and it's especially like it's one of them where, say, City went 1-0 down and you've got De Bruyne captained. De Bruyne can still do something in the game, and yes, Cancelo still can do something in that game, but De Bruyne is much more likely at that point to do something.
Yeah, I think as soon as City concede a goal, your sort of dream's over.
Yeah.
Whereas with an attacker, you've got the whole game to hope at least.
you got the whole game to live in the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, call me a genius when Bale scores a hat trick, mate. Play if
I'm ready.
If you're going for it and Bale smashes it, then like completely fair play to you. But call me a genius when Bale gets benched. Should I do Dyer to Cody or Lookman to Saka this week? I'm playing free hit game week 29, so I'm planning ahead to game week 31. Ooh.
Who Wolves playing?
Wolves play against Liverpool, so I guess I know this is not necessarily the question you're asking, but I'd almost flip up the transfers and I'd say Lookman to Neto maybe this week. One sec. Carry on talking now, and this is the point I was talking about where I get intruded for an order.
Yeah. I understand wanting to get rid of Dyer. I owned him for quite a few weeks and did not enjoy my time owning him. But Cody, I don't think this week seems like something you should be striving for. If that's the things you want to do, considering you're free hitting in 29 as well. Like, for what are you bringing Cody in for? Like this week at least, are you hoping that he gets a clean sheet against Liverpool?
Yeah, man.
So I'd prefer Lookman to Saka if you're doing that.
Yeah. What do you think about Lookman to Neto?
I mean, he's free hitting 29, so he doesn't need Saka for 29.
Yeah.
So you're sort of just betting in this one game week with the option then, if you want to, move Neto on afterwards, but you're probably keeping because he's got good fixtures.
He's got unbelievable fixtures.
But also for this week against Liverpool, I know Liverpool have been crap.
Yeah.
But is that really the bet which you want to take this week?
Yeah, but
Liverpool?
if you're comparing Neto versus Liverpool, or Arsenal, or Saka versus Spurs,
yeah, but
I think it's.
I'm saying it could be neither.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you're going to make that move, then I think the Neto from 31 onwards is the better pick.
Yeah, so if you do either Saka or Neto, considering you're going to free hit in 29, I'd say Neto. But you could just do neither because in game week 28, this game week, I don't think either are particularly strong players to have. What you may consider doing is just deciding a different player other than Cody.
Even
to bring in
a different walk, like a Semedo or someone like that. I know again against Liverpool, but I think who did Azpilicueta or Rudiger or like one of those guys.
Yeah, Azpilicueta's played every game, hasn't he?
Yeah. So if you can afford that, Azpilicueta, I think we can both get behind a Chelsea defender for sure. We've been through that. Bench one of Konsa,
Shaw, Rudiger.
So Konsa plays
Shaw.
Newcastle, good fixture. Shaw plays against West Ham.
West Ham.
Tougher fixture, but it's Shaw, and like I back Shaw, but then Rudiger as well. Who Daniel, let us know, I guess, potentially some other players, because like personally I'd be playing all three, but I don't know what the rest of your team looks like, if you know what I mean. So yeah,
I think I'd probably bank against United keeping a clean sheet, but bank in favour of Shaw getting an attacking return.
yeah, and if Shaw gets an attacking return, we're seeing bonus points for sure.
Yeah, I also think that Chelsea will probably keep a clean sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that I've got Bamford in my team,
Mm.
like I've got him in just in case he scores a penalty. I don't think he's going to score from it.
Oh yeah, for me, like Rafinha's there just because like I kind of have to play him, and it's just like I think Chelsea are going to win it quite comfortably to 0. But
yeah, but then what happens if if the only goal which Leeds score is a penalty? I think the only chance they have of scoring is a penalty, because I think that Chelsea will be really solid.
But that's
why I choose Bamford over Rafinha personally.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess as I said before, like I don't even think it really actually is a decision for me, because I really strongly believe that Bamford's going to come off my bench. And
because you think Gundogan's coming, not going to play.
Yeah, I think Gundogan is not going to play a single minute, so I really think that Bamford's going to come off my bench, and that's kind of also why I'm not necessarily getting rid of Gundogan for Saka this week, because of the potential of Bamford coming off the bench and scoring.
I'd still, with that in mind, prefer Rafinha to go off the bench than Bamford, but obviously it's up to you.
Yeah, fair enough. I really like Rafinha, so. Should I captain Bruno, Gundo, Kane? Bloody, that's a hell of a decision. Go with your gut. That's all.
Should you captain anyone in the whole game, basically?
Me and Owen here are on two differing sides of the coin, but I'm going for Kane.
I think we can both agree on one of them not being your captain, though.
I think we can both say that like both captains are good picks. It's just like personal opinion over who to go with. So. Make your own decision and stick with it, basically.
What I think we should point out is that we probably advise against captaining Gundogan just to avoid any tears.
100%,
yeah. So I even though like De Bruyne got his rest after just after about half an hour rest, didn't he, after his game last week? I'm not captaining him, despite the fact that I hope he has a good fixture, just in case he doesn't get like the game time, which I hope he does get.
Yeah.
With that said, I absolutely will not be captaining Gundogan, and I don't think it's a good idea to. But between Bruno and Kane, I think, as we often say, flip a coin.
Yeah, flip. If you can't choose between Kane or Bruno, I think it's gonna not really matter at the end of the day. But flip that coin. Bale got some rest yesterday. Came on in the 64th minute. He will start. Yeah, fair enough. Like I don't back that Bale's not going to start. I just think it's like the longevity of Bale, and also for me, it's like a triple up on Spurs attack. I'm just not sure I'm ready to commit that much. What do you think? What do you think, Owen? Triple Spurs attack?
I think triple Spurs attack is the only thing which I feel like I'm missing out on for 29. But I'd probably sooner swap Son for Bale rather than have Bale and Son and Kane, because that's just too much money on one team for me.
Yeah, especially money wise, it's like if they were, because like with the West Ham guys, for example, the potential triple up was there. Or actually, a good example right now is Leeds, because I am actually triple up on Leeds. I've got Dallas at 5, Rafinha at 5.2 or 3. I bought him, and Bamford I bought at 6.1. Now that's like a really budget triple up, so it doesn't really matter. Like I can comfortably bench like any one of those week in, week out. I can also comfortably play them, and if they don't do anything, it's still really cheap asset. So it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But Kane, Bale, and Son. First of all, you've got 2 of your midfielder slots taken up by the same team, and midfielder slots are so precious. Yeah. And also, that's 30 mil.
That is
just too much, and it's too much.
Yeah, That's a lot in one team. Jeez, Swifty coming in all caps. Thoughts on Aberdeen sacking the manager? Jeez, man. I see you sitting 4th in the league. So talk to me, Swifty. Talk to me. What's going on there? Why have you sat the manager? I see that you're well behind. I didn't realise how much Rangers had actually smashed the Scottish League this year. Like, I knew they'd won it, but like by 20 points is crazy. And I know you're not gonna like that, Swifty, because I know you hate the English, and all the Rangers supporters are basically English fans. So yeah, cheers. Captain Morris. I have Kane, Bruno, Bale, and Son. Am I good to go?
Good luck.
I'm assuming the captain Riyad Mahrez for this week.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely for me. Like whenever Riyad Mahrez has like,
then that could be fantastic.
Yeah,
but when he doesn't play, that will be in like just tears.
It's one of them where Mahrez is so predictable in terms of like, whenever he gets a big haul, it's guaranteed he's gonna do absolutely fuck all the next week. Like, yeah, I don't like. He's just had his big haul. If he plays, as always, Mahrez has got 1, 2, 3. He's got 4. He's got 5 double-digit hauls this season, which is like as good as any of the big players. But his consistency just isn't there. So I don't think captaining this week is necessarily the one. But I mean, fair play. You do you. Leeds have had 3 penalties this season, and Bamford only took 1, and Click has taken 2. Yeah, but I think that was, the first 2. Click took the first 2, and I think Bamford, especially now that Click isn't playing as much time, Bamford has been like, nah, I want this. You know what I mean? Like, I want these penalties. Give them to me, sort of thing. So yeah, I reckon Bamford would be
still chasing Golden Boot.
Yeah, on the Golden Boot.
Yeah, I like Chelsea have conceded so few goals. I just don't see Leeds scoring from open play against them. That's what I mean to say when I say I choose Bamford over Rafinha for the penalty possibility.
Yeah, for sure. Dunk or Reguilon. As a pick for Southampton. See, I really hope that Southampton win this game and Vestergaard keeps a clean sheet. But this game week, you'd probably go Dunk. And then going forward, you'd probably go Dunk as well, because Reguilon's a really high rotation risk. So I probably have to go Dunk. Got a difference in opinion there, boss?
No.
Nope. We good?
Firmly agree.
Shaw, Saka, or Burn to start. Cheers, mate. Bench Burn. I think he's the least likely to do anything. I like playing the attacker.
Really?
Well, it's between Saka and Burn for me.
Yeah.
And then I guess I have to lean towards the attacker, but maybe it's biased. I don't know.
I'd probably bench Saka, play Burn.
Maybe bench Saka. I'd say it's a very tight call between Saka and Burn. Burn's like,
I'm sure you should definitely play.
Yeah, I think we agree on that. Shaw's like, definitely start Shaw. Saka and Burn. I think my preference is Saka. Your preference is Burn. So yeah, go with how you feel. Bench one of Konsa, Shaw, Rudiger, Watkins, Gundogan. Other options to be. So this is Daniel. So what we said before: Konsa, Shaw, Rudiger, Watkins, Gundogan. Mate, it's not going to matter. Gundogan's going to get benched. So whatever you do, it's not going to matter. I mean, if you have to bench someone, I'd probably still bench Gundogan. I can't lie. Even if he plays, I don't think he's going to do anything.
If you've got Martinez already, maybe bench Konsa.
Potentially, yeah.
And then just have, if Gundogan doesn't play, then have Konsa come on. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bruno or Kane for captain? Who would you start between Bamford and Rafinha? We've gone through that a lot of times.
Yeah,
We're split
I've
on that
realised
one.
we've only got 5 minutes until the deadline, so
Yeah, that's right.
this is where you start to get the what should I do? What should I do? What should I do?
Bruno or
It's all
Kane for
good fun
captain. We
though.
actually split on both of those. I've gone for Bruno captain, and I'd play
Mhm.
Bamford, whereas Jaffa would go for a Kane captain and playing Rafinha.
Yeah, so two very different and different differing opinions, like I guess
Yeah,
completely
I think
like
you almost couldn't go wrong with either of them.
yeah. I mean, you could always go with Bruno and Rafinha or Kane, Kane
Ooh.
and Bay if you want to if you want to swap it up. But yeah, uh, we've got that almighty back. Thanks, mate. No
Who's
worries,
the
man.
best vice captain option, Watkins or Gundogan?
Sure, I mean, depending on your captain, shouldn't matter anyway. But I'd probably go Watkins.
Yeah.
Out of the two, because I know he's going to play. So at least you'll get a 2-pointer. Obviously, I think we're both hoping that Watkins does something because, like, yeah,
I'd love a 4-0.
he's not been doing much of late. To be honest, he's not been doing much.
No, he's not.
But
I brought him in, and since bringing him in, he's got 1 assist, I think.
yeah, same in the same boat for him. In the same boat. But yeah, like one of them where hopefully Watkins can do something tonight, and hopefully Villa can get a nice, comfortable win past Newcastle. So Newcastle very much stay down in points and stay in that relegation scrap because I don't want the teams down below picking up points, if I'm being truthfully honest. 3 minutes until the deadline. Make sure you guys get your captaincies all sorted and get your screenshots done and get everything done. Make sure you've got the correct bench lineup, all of that. Vestergaard has so many good fixtures. I'm so happy to have him. Yeah, same man. Like Vestergaard, like he's gonna smash it. He's gonna smash it in the coming weeks. That's what I think. So
I'm
many
sorry to do
fixtures.
this, but I think I have to hop off.
No worries, man.
Right. Good luck, everyone in the stream. Good luck to you as well.
Good luck.
Obviously.
Good luck.
Yeah. Right. Take care, everyone.
See you, mate. Have a good one.
See you.
Yeah, 3 minutes until the deadline, guys. Get your last minute thoughts in. Play Reguilon or Ben White. Week in, week out, I'd probably say Reguilon just because of the attack and return. But at the same time, White has more of a chance of getting a clean sheet, I'd say. And let's have a look. Spurs. Did Reguilon play last week? Did he play in the Champions League? I guess that's another question. Because if he played in the Europa League game, then I don't see him playing this game. I don't know. It's a really tough one with the Green because there's always the chance of rotation, but he's got a much better chance of getting more points than Ben White. So if you want the ceiling, go for a Reguilon. If you maybe want a bit more safety in terms of playing, then Ben White's your guy. Captain Kane or KDB. With that thing, mate, it's all personal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going for Kane. I think Kane's going to do well against Arsenal. KDB could smash against Fulham. He could go and get benched. So make sure you've got a decent vice captain. But go with your gut, fella. Go with your gut. No, Davies played last fight. Probably means that Green will play. So I probably lean towards Green as well. Just because, you know, Ben White could easily go and get himself a clean sheet. But that means he'll get a 5 or a 6-pointer, depending if he gets a yellow card. Reguilon easily has the chance to get like a 12-pointer. So just for the ceiling, I'd probably go for Reguilon. And I back Spurs to win as well, maybe by nil. Man United got no strikers. Fernandes might play a number 9 this game. That's interesting news. That would make me want to captain him, but we are 1 minute away from the deadline, so that's not going to happen. Going to go for Reguilon mainly because I'm a Spurs fan. Fair enough, man. Kane or Gundogan? Kane. Go play Traore or Dunk. Tough one. I like leaning towards the attacker, but Traore's been pretty awful of late. Dunk's got some, you know, he's on some free kicks as well. Decent opportunity to score, But yeah, it's a tough one for sure, that one, because I don't necessarily see either of them doing that well. Traore's got a bigger ceiling, I'd say, because there's potential of scoring on bonus points, but Dunk could easily go and keep a clean sheet against Southampton. So there's that as well. But we look like we're ticking over to the deadline. That's that. It's done. We are all sorted. That is that. Get your final teams, I guess, down in the description. I am going to quickly take a 5-second break or 10-second break, and I'll be back to do some score predictions. So I will be back in a second if you don't mind holding on, and we can go through the score prediction for the week. Let me know, actually, get it in the comments. Start going through and predicting some of the games, and I'll come back in a second and we'll get them done. There's no sound. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Right, I'll run back over that because I've just made myself look like an idiot. Sorry about that. Newcastle versus Aston Villa. I was saying that Luke there in the chat with 2-0 to Villa. I very much have to agree with that. I think that Villa will win this game. Should win it pretty comfortably. Probably 2-0, 3-0. Hopefully we see some Martinez clean sheets and some Ollie Watkins getting on the score sheet as well. We also see Leeds versus Chelsea, and I think realistically that Chelsea are going to win this game, probably 2-0, probably 1 or 2-0 Chelsea. That's my kind of realistic prediction. But I do think that, well, Actually, I don't think. I hope that Rafinha or Bamford get on the score sheet, because I believe both. I've started Rafinha, I've benched Bamford, but I think Bamford will come on for Gundogan. So if either of those can do something, that would be nice. Then we've got Crystal Palace 2-2. That's a big prediction right there. You're expecting goals in this game. I mean, the reverse fixture, Leeds did end up scoring, but I don't know. I can still see Chelsea winning this game. I've seen people in my chats before bringing in the likes of Timo Werner and potentially captaining Werner. So, yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. Palace versus West Brom. For me, this is all about what team Roy Hodgson plays. If Hodgson decides to put out an attack, I mean, some of you may know I'm a Palace fan, so get into this. If Hodgson puts out an attack, Zaha, Ayew/Eze, Schlupp and Mateta, my word, see you later, West Brom. See you later. They do not stand a chance. But, of course, he's gonna start Benteke. He's gonna start Benteke. But yeah, we move on. So hopefully it'll be a 2 or 3-0 Palace. But yeah, Everton versus Burnley. This should be a pretty 5-1 Zaha hat trick. I agree with you. Let's have it. Palace, Everton versus Burnley. Yeah, 2-0 Michael. I can get behind that. Maybe even just like a 1-0, a drab kind of game. I think this was going to be. We could see goals, but I think Burnley probably quite unlikely to score and do much. So yeah, I can see Everton. A nice little 1-0 for me, hopefully. Calvert-Lewin doesn't do anything because I don't own him, and I know a lot of people that do. So it'll be rather nice if he doesn't do much. Fulham, Man City. Man City should go and beat Fulham. I hope they do beat Fulham, because Fulham getting a win in this game would just not be ideal. But Fulham have made it really hard for teams of late to break them down. So I do see it being a bit of a cagey affair, but Man City unlocking the lock, as it were, and 1 or 2-0. I'm going to go with 1-0 because I do it every week. 1-0 Man City. Southampton, Brighton. Let's see a nice 2-0 Vestergaard goal, clean sheet to Southampton. That's that. I will not accept anything else. Leicester, same. I'll take a 0-0 in this game. Honestly, don't care. As long as Leicester get a clean sheet, which hopefully they will. 2-0 Leicester. That will do. Arsenal, Spurs. Fulham 0, City 0. Interesting. So really not backing City in this game. I mean, surely City win this game. I know Fulham have been playing well, but I think we still have to have the perspective that they are a relegation side. They're still one of the worst teams in the league. They beat Fulham, but if they beat Fulham, Fulham beat Liverpool, but yeah, not for me. Arsenal, Spurs. I think it's be a good game. Hopefully, North London derby, it's not going to turn out to be like a 0-0 or 1-1 or 1-0 either way, as we've seen in the past, but it's always a fiery affair. I think I will, because of my predictions, lean towards Spurs in this game and go with a 2-1 Spurs. I can't see Arsenal nabbing something, but yeah, I think I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. Man United, West Ham, very tight affair. I see West Ham scoring, but if either team's going to nick it, I think it's going to be United. So I think it's either going to be 1-1 or 2-1 United. I'm probably going to lean towards a 1-1 actually. I think West Ham are playing really well. And then the final game of the week, Wolves, Liverpool. Away from home, Liverpool seem to be doing okay. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool. And 3-3 in the North London derby. That's massive. That'd be one hell of a game. That's all I say. That would be one hell of a game. West Ham win 2-1. Interesting indeed. That would be a big one. Got done. Gundogan to Bale last minute. Fair play, Dylan. I mean, I think that's a fine move. I don't think Gundogan's going to play this week, so I think the Bale transfer is a decent one for sure. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Good luck everyone for Game Week 28. Hope you have enjoyed. Obviously, if you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Good luck, and I'll see you probably at some point next week for